Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sonic is here. I promised a guide, and I'm going to get you guys a guide. Don't mind that. That's Princess, and she's a beautiful, wonderful puppy. Anyway, so this is, I said free to play strategies and pay to play strategies, and I realized that they're both going to be kind of like almost the same strategies. I'll just specify what's free to play, what's pay to play in my strategization. Um, if I seem like I'm talking fast, it's because I don't want it to be such a long video. So you can just, rewind it and replay it and pick up what you missed the first time. Anyway, I've started this video like 3 or 4 times, and so if I seem like I'm like all over the place, it's because I don't remember exactly what I talked about and what I didn't, because I've talked about it at one point or another. So, both new player strategies right here. Ramagas. From my personal experience, Ramagas is a great monster to 6-star first, especially for free-to-play players, because you don't care how long your clear times are really as a free-to-play player, because you're not really going to be refreshing your energy all that as much as say a pay-to-play player will be. So Ramagas is perfect, in my opinion, for free-to-play players. The reason being because of his amazingness. Yes. Ramagas, Ramagod, Vampagod. Like, you hear all sorts of names for him. So basically, the strategy with him would be to, first off, is to obtain him. And one of the ways you can obtain him is from the magic shop. That's right. That's why in one of my earlier videos I suggested that you unlock all the slots in here. It's going to cost mana or gems, or actually both, really, depending on it, like rotates in and out. It's been a while. I think that's how it went. Okay, so yeah, so as a free-to-play player, you're not going to want to refresh the shop that much, because you're not going to have as much mana or crystals as someone who's paying to play. But I would still suggest unlocking using, as soon as you clear Phaemon and you get that light dark monster that you want from that light dark scroll, you should immediately focus your gems on opening all of these slots, and all of the gems you obtain should go to that. Another thing I forgot, every guide says it, and that's because it's a great strategy, is to complete your dailies. Go through, do this. In total, it's 10 extra energy, 3 extra wings, and 10 crystals total. 10 energy and 3 wings, and like a little bit of mana. I mean, mana is not really noticeable, but it's the crystals you want. Other thing, make sure you do your rivals. This one's up every like 3 hours or so. I don't pay attention to the times. I just when it's up, I attack it. Anyway, so while we're doing this, let's continue talking about that strategy. So, like I said, one of the strategies I would use as a free-to-play, I mean, I'm mostly free-to-play as well. I do buy just the Devilmon packs, and that's where my extra crystals come from, really. But for the most part, it's really, I go through crystals pretty fast, but I don't really buy crystals. So free-to-play player, there's some new things that some of the guys don't really touch on anymore, but it's the monsters that you get now. I believe, so right here, let's go. So like I was saying, Ramagas, great monster to have for a new player to use and utilize. Some of the monsters that I forgot to mention in that other video is going to be your Lapis, your Magic Knight. As a free-to-play player, she is going to do pretty well by you, actually, especially for the new low levels, trying to go through and clear Phaemon normal, just on your own. I have an alt account. I started on the Asia server here recently just to make sure that my strategies are actually working. So I have a little more experience, like I'm doing it right now as we speak, I have Lapis, this my second reset or so on that account, but basically I go through, you get Lapis, after you clear Mount Whitecap, Raygon. So Mount Raygon. Another thing is that Garen Mount says you get the light dude. What's his name? Which I'm also using him because he's a natural 3 star. You get the Elven Ranger, and so far I've been pretty successful just using Lapis, my water fairy, and Elven Ranger, and a Seek, and I've been able to level them up enough to go through and clear Faemon without any friends, really, because I wanted to do it without getting any friends, because I believe it's more realistic, like to go through and do that. This time around, I'm probably going to actually get a few friends, and like so I can clear it faster, so I can get actually a decent light dark monster. Anyway, so continuing on. So now, like I told you about the Ramagos strategy. No, I didn't. I started on it. I did not finish it. So with Ramagos, what you want to do? Let's come in here. Garen Forest. Farm level 2, level 4, and level 6 until you get a 4-star energy rune on Hell. It's pretty easy to do. I did it as a new player. I think I was around level 15, 16-ish when I 6-starred Ramagos, and I ate some monsters that I shouldn't have ate, but I was a noob. I saw a video of Ramagos soloing the Giants B10. Excuse me one second. Water. Stay hydrated. Another key to being great at Summoner's War and life in general. Hydration. Anyway, so, like I was saying, get those 4-star HP percent runes on Ramagos. It's really easy to awaken as well, so on win day, you can, or even just farming. I believe when I first got Ramagos, I actually farmed. It wasn't a win day, so I just farmed like B3 or B4 on a magic dungeon and got enough wind to awaken him. It's pretty easy to awaken. So you won't regret Ramagos. I still use my Ramagos in Guild Wars occasionally. Not occasionally, actually quite often. Like every other Guild War, I'm using Ramagos because I've lost like monsters, and he's a really clutch player. He can do really well. But anyway, so like I was saying, Garen Forest, get you a 3 sets of energy runes on him and get as much HP as possible. So get the 4-star HP percent runes. Remember, percent, not flat. And get those to plus 12. And once you do that, Ramagos himself can solo up until about B4, B5. I think when he was 6-starred, he could solo B5 on an energy set. I'm not quite sure. I know I did get some vampire set pieces on him pretty early, and so I had a Ramagos. Vamp Endure was what I had him on, and I got around 80% resistance and around 25-30k HP, and he was able to, on manual with a, on manual he was able to solo Giants B10, basically solo. I needed the Wind Vampire as a leader for the resistance, and then I was able to solo B10 Giants. Anyway, I don't recommend doing that. It's very slow, but like he can do it. And once you get better vampire runes on him, he can actually solo B10 all alone. But like I said, I wouldn't really do that. But it can be done if you have the patience out there and you want to brag, make a YouTube video of it or something. Get like 1 million likes and views. Unlike me, who nobody really watches. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be entertaining. I'm trying to be helpful. I'm trying to please the world. What was that? Okay. Anyway, so right here, Darien Bella, and Amen. I recommend getting those as soon as possible, especially Bella. I use Bella in every single dungeon, and in TOA, and in TOA hard, and in Guild Wars, and not so much arena really. But I mean, I could. I don't really have. I don't really do bruiser type arena anymore. I do quick clears, and that's it. I only attack people that I know I can beat with my quick clears, and I'm very selective. But anyway, I'm not going to go into how to rune them. Like I'm going to make more videos in detail on specific rune builds for specific monsters, on what I believe is viable, the standard cookie cutter, as well as letting you explore ideas. Like it really, with Summoners War, the sky's the limit. There's so many different monsters and so many different combinations and possibilities. There's no way without people being crazy and trying out new things like that. We're not going to be able to find, you know, we're not going to we're not going to find new metas if more people aren't just trying new things. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. So, Bella, Darien, and Amen can be core parts of a new player farming guild. Anyway, Shannon, another great monster to use as a free-to-play player, as a new player. People, I don't think people realize how good Shannon actually is, especially on Despair. This is the same rune set that I've had on her forever. Like I've had this on her for so long that I don't even know. Like as you can tell, like the stats on this I think was just a plain white rune that I had found or gotten in the shop, and like I think this was a blue rune. I mean, that like horrible runes, but she did the job. I haven't touched these since I used her last, and I only used her in TOA and Giants B10, and a little bit early on in Dragons. But Shannon, very underrated monster. You'll see a lot of guys saying like to use her in the beginning, but as soon as you can replace her. Which I mean, like it's true that like, but she's solid, very solid. Her buffs will keep you alive. My Bernard currently isn't runed. I stole his runes and put them on Megan for my AO comp. Another monster that is, in my opinion, highly overlooked is the Wind Yeti, especially in TOA and in Dungeons. Giants, one of the best AoE healers. Like, just really, this is amazing. And also Necro, like his great Necro. I'm actually building him up. His on my to-do list for Necro, so that I can have a little bit faster, safer clears. And I think that about does it as far as like just teams. Because so for Giants, like I said, you can go something very easily, such as Bella, Amen, Shannon, Bernard, and like a damage dealer, or if you need more heals, or Konamiya. How did I forget about Konamiya? And Konamiya. Until you fuse a Viramos, Konamiya will get you very far. So I was unlucky with a lot of my monsters early on, as far as fusion monsters. I did not get any fusion monsters really until later in the game. Like I was able to fuse Katarina like a few months ago, and I mean I haven't built her up yet. Obviously, I have nukers. The main thing I'd be using her for is in Guild Wars now, just because she's just so clutch in Guild Wars. Really amazing. But like I was saying, Konamiya. Until you get a Viramos, Konamiya is the perfect substitute, and I have no reservations at all of 6-starring my Konamiya, because now I use Konamiya in Why do I have like? Does it look like one of my eyes is like tired? It's late, so if I look like I'm sleepy, that's the reason why. Um, oh yeah, and you see, like I have thick eyebrows, right? Yeah, I stole them from YDCB, so that's why. If anyone asks and is looking for his eyebrows, I got them. Um, um, anyway, back to my guide. So basically, I would build up for a team because would be Bella, Darian, Amon, Konamiya, Bernard, and Shannon, and that would be a staple team that I would actually work on, because that team right there can actually transfer over into from giants to dragons. That can actually be a viable dragons team itself. Um, if you can't get Amon, you can use Rakasha. If you can't get Bella, you can use Rakasha. Like is just so good, for those who are down on luck. Now, I mean, if you have like an Ariel or an Eladrill or a Jasoon or a Delphoy or something like along those lines, like you use them by all means. I'm talking about like the new players who don't have anything. Like these are just obtainable monsters that you can get yourself. Um, like actually, I'll show you guys my Giants team. 100% success rate. Um, and it's right here. Veramos, Theo, Amon, Bella, and Verd, and 100% success rate. One of them can die, and the other four can solo. Like, doesn't matter who. If Amon dies, the other four can solo. If Verd dies, the other four can solo. Even if Veramos dies, the other four can solo. Like, it's an amazingly safe team. Um, and like my Amon does about 4K heals, I believe. With Vero lead, I think I do 4K heals. Is on Violent Blade, but let's just take a look here real quick. Yep, about 4.1. So, anyway, continuing on. What I stated earlier. So now, once you start getting into wanting to clear more, and you actually have these monsters 6-starred, and you have a Vero, so you basically, my Vero would be your Konamiya. My Theomars would be your Shannon, and my Verd would be your um, Bernard. And the reason is because speed and attack bar boosters are amazing, so they should be utilized as such. Um, Now, this is more for the pay-to-play pay-to-play players. Is that same strategy if you don't have the monsters? I would still suggest those monsters. As far as 6-starring, I still would say Veramos and Bella should be considered as one of your first 6-stars, at least in your top 3 or 4 6-stars. And even if you have an amazing Nat 5 like Zyros or Eladrill, Ariel, I'd still suggest those. Well, actually, Ariel, I guess I could see you 6-starring Ariel first, because even an unawakened level 40s Ariel can solo Fame on Hell. It's slow as shit, but he can do it. I know because my girlfriend does that. She has an unawakened level 40 Ariel, and she farms Fame on Hell, and it's super slow, but she can do it. Another Fame on Hell farmer that is pretty slow, but also very consistent with easy runes, 4-star plus 12 runes again. Like Ramagos is his brother, Dagora, the Water Wind Bear, which you can find in Mount White. I want to say Cap, but I remember that's not right. Raygon, Mount White Raygon? Yeah, I think that was it. Anyway, so going back to those monsters and having them as a solid team. The reason I would still do those, even if you're pay to play, is because if you build those monsters up you don't have to worry about building. This is mainly for the pay-to-play winners, because what you can do is have your friends that can have that solo through, B7, B8, B9 of giants and dragons. Well, I would solo through giants, or and then or even as if you're pay to play, use your gems to gem through them. Basically, if you don't know, if you die, you have the chance to purchase a retry, or not a retry, but basically it brings all your monsters back to life. I think it's called a revive or something like that. It's been so long, but if you're pay to play, go ahead and use that through giants until you get to giants B10, and then farm the ever living shit out of giants B10 for swift runes. Get all your monsters on swift runes, and then go to dragons, and then get all the way up to giants B10, and by then you should have some of your monsters 6-starred, like your Bella, your Darien, or your Amun. And like I said, everyone has their own versions of how to level and how to win and succeed. But it's like these are like what I believe to be the fastest and easiest ways. See, my bird died, but I still win. It's really weird. Like, I've been down to like 1 or 2 monsters on this, and I haven't failed yet. Like, that's why I say 100%, because it's, for me so far, it has been 100%. So anyway, going back to giants, swift runes on your monsters, doing. Oh, right. I know what I was gonna say. So you go in here. Ooh, looks like we're not doing so well on this war. How many people have attacked? Sorry for getting sidetracked. Oh, we still have plenty of attacks left. Okay. I try to wait until to see who's having trouble with what, and then I attack the green ones, whether they're all +3s or whether they're all 0 pluses. I have all the ifrits, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, sidetracked. Don't waste your points on these. Right here, for new players. This is what you want to spend your guild points on, right here, every week. Literally buy these, and you will have your first 6-star by the time you buy your 5th one of these. Guarantee it. And the reason I say that is because making a 5-star monster at a low level is ridiculously hard, and I know this. Making a 4-star, not as hard, still pain in the ass, but not unbelievably hard. And then, how much was that? Can I buy? Nope, can't buy it. So I gotta wait till after I attack, or after this war. Anyway, new player, free to play, pay to play strategy. For the free to play, basically you will get once or twice a month 12-hour experience boost, and I suggest saving that, or not necessarily saving that, because you can save it for up to 6 days. So you can either save it, or you can wait until it's about to pop, and what you do is you save the dimensional crystals. Currently, right now, I save dimensional crystals until then, and then I get all 10 of these, and then I run this with fodder, and then I level up fodder, and that's how I do it. Very cheap, and I use Ramagos to solo it because it's amazing. Like I said, you can, once you have your Ramagos to 5 stars, he can solo any of this with Vamp runes even at a 5-star. So that strategy, saving up these, using that, and then refreshing your crystals to get through refreshing your energy with crystals until you finish your crystals, and then huge amount of mana and experience you'll get from that. And as well, it's quick, and I'm not sure if it's actually experience efficient, but in my mind, to me, it's very speed efficient. So that's what I would do. If you're pay to play and you do a lot of scenario farming and you have a great farmer like Lucian or what have you, go by all means go ahead and go in here to get an experience booster, and level your monsters that way. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Um, if you're free to play, I mentioned before that there's two things you focus on. Either you focus on energy and getting basically through. Uh, did I just say focus on energy? I think I did. But anyway, so two things you focus on. Well, everybody has two things they focus on: is either getting monsters or getting runes. For me, I would say if you're a new player and you don't have any of the monsters like that are game changing, I would say to use your crystals on summoning packs, the premium packs, which would be, I would only ever buy this one. If I would save up until you have 750, and I would buy that because it's the most cost effective. If you're pay to play, another option is actually coming in here and refreshing the shop. And the reason I say mainly only for pay to play, and I would never suggest a free to play player doing this, is because it's very, very mana costly. If you don't have mana, you shouldn't be refreshing the shop. Because like if you're pay to play and you have plenty of mana and you can buy mana and everything, you buy light dark pieces, you can buy your legendary pieces, you can buy mystical scrolls, and you can buy runes. So if you're pay to play and you want monsters, I would go through here. I mean, it's not necessarily like the only way to do it, but I would suggest you do this because you'd be surprised at how many pieces you get and how many mystical scrolls you get. So I've spent like around 90 crystals in the magic shop, and I've gotten like two or three scrolls and like one or two scroll pieces, as well as a rune that is worth looking into. I mean, don't limit yourself to just buying premium packs if you're pay to play. One thing though you should never do is let's get down here. Bam. Don't ever use crystal summons. Don't do this. Like it's the least efficient way to spend your crystals. Save them up. It's well worth saving them. I can't think of what else I really would say other than don't be too. Why is he over here? He should be up there. Anyway, yeah. If you think I forgot something, leave a comment and be sure to like, subscribe, and share it if you think this is some useful information for some of your friends that are also new at playing this game. That's all. Until next time, folks.